end up showing up at this live, all the support. Jason, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. So I know it's your first month because that's my face superimposed on there. It sure as heck is. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's a glorious Sunday. It's a beautiful day. And the best way to take advantage of what the Lord has given us is to take full advantage of the day. Let's navigate through the cryptocurrency. We'll do this in a very detailed way, and I have a very exciting chart. If you haven't seen it this morning, we're gonna dig deeper into the chart going back to 2014. Wales, Josie Wales, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over a year with the I Told You So badge. Awesome. I think that's what it said. Awesome. It's just very sunny. We'll go through. We'll look at XRP. We'll look at a few other things like Bitcoin. We'll take a look at the narrative. And we'll see how it's looking on this Sunday. So far, so good. Let's see. Amanda, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Mark Casson, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So bad. Good afternoon, friend. Ivan, welcome in. Trial by Fire, good afternoon. Tom and Army, afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon to you as well, my friend. Trading with J-Ride, thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years. 3 years. With the XRP Diamond Hands badge. Devin, welcome in, and thanks for being on Tom's Army for well over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge and a very trusted mod. The Cannabis Podcast, welcome in. Love it. Love seeing you here in Tom's Army for over 3 months now with the XRP Meteor. Crazy Paul, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. What a special group of people we have here showing support. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So good news with XRP. Despite some of the red we're seeing, I know Alchemy pays down better than 10%. Filecoin's down 6%. Theta's down 4.5%. Drock, welcome in. Aaron, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News, along with AUW. Oh. But we see some volatility to the downside here. Casper's up 20%. Somebody had asked me to talk about that more today. But Casper's up 20%. Could be leading the charge here a little bit. Joseph, welcome in. Says hopefully XRP front runs the pump. Well, there's a few of them that are showing us some small signs here, folks. Nick, good afternoon. Good to see you in here. We're going to need your input as well, probably as we go. Kryptonian, or Crypto Cooter, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Yes, Devin, I knew you would be happy about the Casper movement. 21%. We've been in this descending consolidation for quite some time. And from the measurement, I mean, it broke out pretty nicely here. And it even broke out at the appropriate time. And this could finally be that massive move up for Casper after this unbelievable downturn. Just been a remarkable downturn. And don't look all the way back here, you know, when you go back to 21. It's so artificially plumped up, it's so hard to understand. But when you come back into recent memory, we can see that we've had a nice bullish consolidation finally on that descending triangle. And those are typically bullish. ZBCN, real quick, just to get it out of the way. It's in a second reversal candle. Came down below the low. Now it's pushed up. This weekly is looking ultra bullish. If it can push out past 0014, this could be making a big run. You know, you wouldn't have to worry about a 1x. There would be several X's there if it in fact does play it gracefully. But I want to focus more on the XRP side of things. I want to focus more on going a little more in depth with DGB, because I didn't get to it in the morning update since it took me over 23 minutes just to get done through the XRP stuff. And then I would also like to go touch base here with XLM. If you're interested in joining the Telegram, it's in the pinned comments below in this very live, where it shows the BITUNIX. Just scroll below that, and the next link right there is for the Telegram. I encourage you to do it because not everybody is getting my alerts that I'm going live or when I'm updating. A lot of times my stuff is blank for whatever reason, so join the Telegram. And then I have a separate section in the Telegram where it says content links. So all of my content I post from YouTube. Well, that's the general chat, but I post from YouTube everything that I put on here. So there's no reason to miss it. It's exclusively free. And every time I show it, it's free. I don't charge for any of my content. So you know, just show grace is all I'm saying. There's no second chances, but we're a community of positivity. So if it's your first time in here, or if you're finding your way back, I need you as much as you feel the need that you need me every given day. In fact, I need you more than you feel the need that you need me, in my opinion. So let's get into this. We'll get into XRP. As XRP's 50-day moving average crossed through the 200, which is very bullish. First, you get the 20 crossing through the 200, which gives you the short-term pattern reversal, and that was in the 4-hour time frame, which is a perfect time frame to start pushing this along. Then what you're looking for as you consolidate your up and down, back testing. You need a back test in the daily on the 200, which we got last night overnight, which was honestly made me so super positive when I woke up this morning. Well, it didn't happen last night, but we had, where was this at? Actually, you know what? It's so hard to see, but I don't know what I'm so excited about. I mean, I'm excited about a couple of things, but I also remember the daily was significant to me. Oh, when it came down before, never mind. The daily was significant when it came down and held the 200 before. So when it came through, so we already had that back test on the inverse head and shoulders. See, I got so excited, I lost my train of thought. But what made me excited this morning is we finally, in the 4-hour time frame, and this was super positive momentum for me just waking up, was seeing the 50 cross through the 200. Like, that was a huge momentum. Oh, that's what it was. It came down last night and retested the 200 in the 4-hourly, well, in the last, 24 hours. Actually, about the last 16. But then we ended up pushing the 50-day actually crossed the 200, and we got a back test on it. This, if this holds, ultra bullish. Ultra bullish, and it could be the artificial setup for the reemergence of wave 5, let's say. And it's a super, super bullish thing that's happening, like mega bullish, like I put in the title. As long as this does not get invalidated, it is mega bullish. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, I get super excited when I see the 20 cross the 200, because that's a signal that you've had a short-term pattern reversal. In the 2-hourly, it's still got to move through the 4-hourly and so on and so forth. The daily, we're trying to avoid that death cross, which if this just breaks to the next layer, now that we held on the inverse head, the 200-day in the daily, we're looking great. Like, we are looking smoking fucking hot. Oh, excuse me. Smoking hot this morning, or this early afternoon on Sunday. Like, we are smoking right now. And to get through the weekend and look like this, it's not a bad opportunity here that's developing. Yes, we had a wick candle there in the 4-hourly, but, oftentimes these are just, hey, we're going to retest the initial part of the breakout. We're going to have an engulfing candle to the top side to start, but we still have to fill out some of the wick, and that's exactly what's going on. That inverse head and shoulders looks absolutely desirable. The way it ended up setting up, even though it didn't come down lower, it set up perfectly. Like, we'll go to this chart just so anybody who's new can see. But it took the one or two routes that I was desperately begging it to take. And once it did this, it broke into the descending triangle after a breakout, broke up, back tested, broke up, back tested the move up, broke out, back tested that move, broke up, back tested the move back up, and now it's pushing up, back tested in the 4-hourly. Like, I could not be any happier with what I'm seeing right now. I could not be any happier if I tried. And then I got happier, believe it or not. I got happier this morning. See, it started with the power of positivity and how we've transcended the last couple of days back into the mindset of being positive, because it's allowed me to look at this a little bit differently with grace. I'm looking at this with grace now. Instead of having that negative thought turn into 2, turn into 5, and you have that spiraling down, we started talking about how about we have that climb up to positivity. So how about we have that one positive thought, leads into a second, leads into a third, and some more like that. So, Devin, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. I greatly, greatly appreciate that, along with you being in Tom's Army for over 2 years at the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Says, thank you for all you do, brother. I am ready for the moon. I think we all are. And thank you for being a very trusted mod as well. Tanya, it's good to see you back in here, love. And Tom's Army for over 2 years at the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Back from vacation. A much-needed vacation, I might add. Got away from this whole crypto game for a second, even though she's still involved, but had to get away. And I'm glad that you did it, but if it's even a word, I'm even gladder or happier that you're back. And you came back at a perfect time. Like when I say a perfect time, I mean a perfect time. And this blue thing is not a pedestal we're being held on, although it might as well be. Because if it stays, oh my. If we stay there, look out. Our next journey here, and if you're new, I have hella charts. I have hella charts. And you're just going to have to deal with it. And that's a good thing. Because as long as you see what I go through in my brain, I'm assuming that I would have tapped something that you've seen that's along the way in your chart as well. So now that we've maintained that area we just shown, our next big resistance would be, it's the 229 area, but $2.33. And Tanya, you came back into a more positive and more vivacious time. So you get perfect timing. Perfect timing. But that next resistance, yes, there's a 229 pivot point, but we can't break this through until we break $2.33. And then once we get past that, we've got to get past this pattern setup, which is wider all the way up at 243 or 247. It just depends when we hit it. One could argue 247 in time, but even then, it might take too long to get to 247. That would take us to Mason. It's about 2 weeks. I would expect this to happen much quicker than that if it's going to happen. So, for the sake of argument, so we can go back into today's terms, we need to break over $2.51, but ultimately, those are irrelevant. They aren't irrelevant, but we have to break that 265 pivot point, which, if I'm being honest, this is what you want to see. And yes, it causes some panic and then some fear, but also some unbelievable expectations. So, up, right, tap, back down, back up, 265, back down, breakout, tap 265 up to 290 or 298. That's the way we want to take this. And if we do that, we're in wave 5. If we break $3, we're in wave 5. Guarantee it. If we break, well, I guess you'd have to break this to confirm it, but think about it this way. So wave 1, let's go to the empty chart. Let's go to the empty chart. 101 people here already. Holy smokes, are we for real? Todd, I hope you're having a great time at the zoo. I really do. I really do hope you're having a great time down there. Well, at least from where I'm at. That 4-hour candle close inside the daily FVG that was rejected is such a good thing. Oh my God. The way it lined up, Nick, unbelievable. It's just unbelievable the way it lined up. Like, I could not be happier. So, let's do this again. In case you guys weren't here this morning, or if you haven't seen the morning update, which I'm blessed that it's got over 700 views already. At least what I see. It only shows you guys it has like 460 or whatever. But I get the in-depth analytics of my content. So, good mid-afternoon. 12:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, April 27th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM Future Digibyte OG, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Wow, some loving messages in there at the end there too while I was talking. I love seeing it in the comments. I'll respond to them as soon as I see them pop back up. But I want to show you guys something going back to the history of XRP. And I thought this was friggin' phenomenal. And you guys can look at this different than me, but like I said in my morning update, this is in the weekly, so it's not 100% on the nuts, but it's within the set. Oh, well, let's not go that route. But you get the analogy. Not 100% the nuts, but it's in the sack. You get what I'm saying? So there's room to move, but you're within the ballpark. I know that's not the best analogy, but for some reason, that's what came up. Like they say. So, what's going on here, if we look at this, I'm going to give you a basic crash course. We started up 1. Where was this at? Thank you, Trial by Fire. I appreciate it. It's a great analogy. SBK says, love your work ethic. Been watching, or been a part, well, he's been a part of this for 4 years. That's unbelievable. Yeah, I hit my 4 years, March 24th of 2025. And the best part about this is I've never missed a day of doing this. Like, I have such a great honor and feeling about that. Like, nothing could make me more prideful. I love being here every day. I just love doing stuff. And I love to, when I'm doing something, I'm very passionate with it. So I like to be very involved, and I like to see everything in real time. So, okay. So the best way to look at this, I mean, it's not the easiest way to look at it from the backside. I mean, when you go farther down, it's much easier. What the hell? Whoops. I went to the daily on accident, but we're going to have fun with this. So we'll go up 1, down 2, correction, back up, right? So mind you, this only goes back to 2013 right here. So just think of it this way. Corrective, wave 3, down for wave 4, correction, out, right? So now we do this again. So let's just look at this from half scale on the very beginning, in the beginning. So we go like this. Consolidation, out, and now we're going to consider this the wave 4 of this analogy. So up to 3, wave 4, consolidation, breakout, right? Breakout to 1, back to, or no, there was 1 down. See, that's why we need to go into the daily. It's so much easier to see this. I'll just have to go back. I can make this so much easier. And for anybody who's new, this is just doing you a disservice. Although we did draw the sack apparently there for some reason. But, you know, the daily, if we go back like this, it'll be much easier. I could almost do it in the monthly too. What the hell is my daily? Ah, there we go. So if we go back like this, oh, it's going to be much easier. Oh, much easier. Oh, much. That's so, oh, yeah. Now we're going to get the idea. Watch this. This is going to be so freaking cool. And it's almost like you can do it the entire way. Like we can do it the entire way. My favorite, what up, Tom? My favorite TA/smoke partner. And the good news is today, at some point in this live, we do have some cannabis here. So I'm definitely interested in that today. So let's just say, here's the end of a first wave, you know, the breakout. So you go up 1, corrective 2, up for 3, corrective 4, surge, right? And then you come up around, and then I'm considering all of this. See, it's so hard to do it in the daily because that went so long. So then you go up for 1, down to 2, up for 3. Wave 4 correction is this entire thing when it comes through here, like up 1, down 2, or you could even say up 1, down 2, up 3, and consolidating. But for the purposes, I think if I just do it like this, you can at least see. So up, consolidate, breakout, up, then you come down, and then we consolidate a base. So just kind of look at this like the base. Kind of look at this like the base. So the higher the base, the bigger the space. Or the bigger the base, the higher the space. However you want to put it. So the first time, this was our base. The second time, we started consolidating, right? Nope, not ready. That was wave 3. Back to wave 4, consolidation. So 1, 2, 3. Back to consolidation. And then surge. And then we went wave 1, 2, 3. Right? And then we came down and consolidated for 4. And we did it the exact same way, just a little greater length. And I wish I wouldn't have had that so separated, but I think you can see what I mean. So let me get the arrow out. It'll be a little easier. So from here, up 1, down 2, up 3, consolidate for 4. See right here? Again, up 1, back down for 2, up for 3, wave 4 corrected this entire way until boom, back to correction. But you did a smaller, kind of like an impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back around. And then you consolidated that entire time. So look at the bases building up. Ready? Let me see if I can find let's see. So you've got right here was your consolidation before a breakout, basically. And it was failed. That was a failed breakout. Then we went into correction. And then again, if you take the exact same thing, you move it over here now. Now you get your breakout in the base before the next breakout, right? Now, what have you noticed? The base usually is around the same area. Before we came in here, we had our first real base when we consolidated in here. Let's lower this. I guess I should have did it the other way. It's fine. It's fine. You get the picture, but I definitely should have just did it my own way right here. But you got the first start of the base here. Break up, you gain another base to break up. Gain another base. Now for the first time, we're gaining a base here at the $2 level. This has never happened before. So when you look at this and you come across this is something that I think is important. So we know we've created a cup and it's created a W within. Look at where this base is now. Here, I'll take one of these again. It'll work for this at least. So let me get that off of there. Let's clone this. Let's take this up here for the first time now. We can see this range up here, right? So we got rejected, and then we started this fresh area right here. And we can take this all the way across. Like literally, we can take this all the way across. So for the first time, look at that area. Look at this. Okay. So, and this might be hard to follow, but look at this. And this is so important. Like if you're new, please pay attention to this. We did this once, came up, back down, 21, back down, back around, back up. But now look, here we always consolidated within here after any major breakup back into the safety box, back into the supply zone. For the first time, look what we're stacking right now. We're on top of a base that we've never established in the history of XRP. This is huge. Like huge. And if this maintains, there's a reason why, you know, this is big. This could be absolutely massive. Look at the difference of separation. Look at the difference from where we started at the bases to where we eventually moved up. And then like if we take this a step farther, look from down here where the base was at. Like you're talking about farther down and you stacked up. So then this time the base support was on the resistance of the old base, right? The base support fell back within because we had a failed breakup. Now the base support on wave 4 is above the prior levels of major resistance that always allowed us to come back under $1 and worse. This is the first time in XRP's history, guys, ever that we're consolidating in this base zone. Does anybody understand the significance? Like, is this sound stupid, or are you able to understand this? 148 people here, so I'm very proud of the way that we're doing this right now. So I would love to hear what some of you have to say real quick. I would love to see if this is hitting the spot, and I would love to see what you think about expanding this into a different way of looking at this. Because this, to me, forget all the charts we've had. How about we start talking about the supply back to demand, back into supply, and now where we're demanding we go. Like, if this holds, we go into new all-time highs, and we're in price discovery. Which, for me, price discovery would lead us likely to $5.49. It does sound stupidly good, I agree. Jason says, awesome stuff, expand, baby. Absolutely. $12 is on the table, but not initially, hombre. Not legitimately on the table yet, because we would have to go through price discovery. And what ends up happening in price discovery, you don't know how high it goes if you're breaking to the top side, but you can be certain that after that initial swipe at 549, you are almost guaranteed to come back to the old base. And we know where the old base is, right? We can expand this. Ready? Let's expand this one layer. So if we were to break out past all-time highs, where would we have to come back into that base? And I would argue probably somewhere like that. Somewhere between that, probably 365 to 347. There's the lower boundaries of the range at 304 to 286, and you understand why I highlighted that area. But really, you would be looking at the bounds of going from 542 or 549. Heck, even if you made an overzealous run to 570, and then you would probably bounce back the old base at 365. And then we could go into proper price discovery, because you never just go. You never just go. And what we did ourselves a disservice again this time around, because we never broke to a new high, which means, well, it depends which chart you're on, though. I mean, I could honestly say, depending on what chart you're on, you know, we double topped or some, but I'll be honest. We never made that new high yet, which means we never entered price discovery of any significance, which meant that we came back down to validate before we broke out, which is actually important, because that can slingshot you for wave 5. And remember, wave 5, not greater than 1, but not less than the third wave. I think I said that right. Sometimes I mix it up because I talk so much and my mind's got so much information and I mix it up. I'm trying to see it another way, Tom, but I can't. Tom, I'm back playing Fortnite. I don't know if you did the boss thing that was in there. I did it last night at like 12 a.m. And Godzilla, he comes out of the water and it's a hectic battle. He has like 40,000 damage and it's a pain in the ass, and it's not really worth it because you don't get diddly squat for the most part. But I'm starting to rip it in Fortnite. My nephew, when he was 7, made me start playing it. For emphasis, he's like 13 now. And he don't really play it no more. But I've gotten pretty sweaty at it. And I started going into some things like these sweaty lobbies. Like, I used to get rolled in them. And I'd be like 15 and 50. Yesterday I'm playing it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm 40 and 7. And I'm like, this is different. This is definitely different in the rank side. It was different. Anyhow, let's not get distracted here. But I really think that is super helpful when we start to look at this. Like for me, and we can start to label this now, right? So, man, I don't even know if I want to label it yet. I think I just want to roll with it right now. It's not the all-time supply zone, but look at the demand or the supply that was needed to start breaking out, right? So, I think this is unbelievable with setting, like, going back to 21, if I would have said it was setting up like this would have been in my wildest friggin' dreams, guys and gals. Jennifer, thank you so much for the $1.99 donation. DGBTA, thank you. Want to contribute a little. You always contribute, Jennifer. Let's not forget you were in Tom's Army for several months. You're very vocal in the Telegram, very vocal in the comments, very positive, an array of sunshine. So I think you've contributed as much as you really need to, if I'm being honest. I really appreciate the support, though. So that's with XRP right now. So we'll get into DGB in a second, Jennifer, I promise, because I do want to look at it a little more in depth. How long did this take me? Oh, okay. Tom, keep rolling, my man, with the positivity and the great updates. Thank you so much. Oh, you are welcome. And honestly, it was that week of when I wasn't really looking at comments until the back end that really let me see the light. You know, and then I learned, and I've been tested a little bit, but you can't see if you've grown at all or if you've changed your ways until you get retested on the things that might have brought out the worst in you at times. So it really is a spectacular thing we do here. So not just from the charts, from a growing perspective. So actually this isn't going to work like this. Yeah, I guess it can. So supply. Nah, I don't want to do that because then it's going to look stupid. I'll do it later, and I'll have it labeled in here properly because I want to make sure it looks professional. It's easier on my phone to do it too for some reason. So yeah. So if you're just coming in here, every time XRP's ever rallied like this, ever, there's no other exception ever. There has never been an exception in the history of XRP. So we came up, boom, back to the supply. We're demanding we come back down into the zone so we can resupply. Back up, failed. We demand we come back into the supply zone and resupply for another attempt. Bam! You know what? We're going to stay above the resistance structure that always brings us back to supply. And now, for the first time, we're starting to rise above a zone that we didn't even know we could. Because we've never done it before. Every time we've gone up, we've immediately come down. Back up, immediately down. Back up. This time, not immediately down. Immediately back down to back test the old end of pattern formations. And look at that W. Remember the Hank Hill ass syndrome? If you watch King of the Hill, you'll understand Hank Hill's decisive ass. How it looks. And we call it the Hank Hill ass. And then it pulls up. I mean, look at that. That is Hank Hill to the T. And if that plays out, guys and gals, I know we started our investment at 10,000 tokens. Some of you did more, some of you did less, but we base it on 10,000 tokens. You guys all know the story if you're here. We have it for about 3,500. If it goes up to 549, you've turned 3,500 into over 54,000. Right now, you should already be hella happy. You should be hella happy, hella positive. You've turned 3,500 into 22,000 right now on 10,000 tokens, and we've done it. Most of you who are here watching right now probably have as well. You might not have done it at 30 or 35, maybe 40, 50, 60. Even if you did it at 90, you've turned 9,000 into 22. You know, so we're looking good right now, folks. Like, I don't know how else to describe this. This is the most positive I have felt on a Sunday all 2025. That update I put out this morning, the single best update I've put out in the year 2025. The live yesterday was the single best live I've done in the entire year. Today's live is going to test it. And I think it's all because of you guys. I know some of it's because of me. I understand that. But let's face it, you feed off of your audience. It's just like when you're playing a sport, you feed off of the crowd. If the crowd, if the community, if the ones watching and rooting you on are positive and they feel the whole, well, not the Holy Spirit for everybody, but if you feel that spirit of positivity or that peace and that you know what I'm saying. So, and I remember not too long ago when we were up at 109 and I called out 74K and somebody said, Tom, if we hit 74K, you are the greatest technical analysis person I've ever seen. We hit 74K to the nuts. You know, so we know a thing or two around here. And it wasn't because I'm like, oh, I want it to go down 32%. I want it to go down 35%. It's because it had to. And in every bull market, we've always come down at least 1/3, if not worse. So what happened here is the alt tokens took the brunt of it, and it's spectacular. It's spectacular. And Jennifer says positive energy draws positive energy. It sure as hell does. It really does. And I had that vivid thought yesterday too of, you know, and I shared it in the live yesterday of how the negativity, I would have a negative thought and then it would spiral to another one and another one. And then you're on that spiraling down with negativity. And then all of a sudden, for the first time I ever let it out, like, why don't we just step higher and try to reach higher for the positivity? So instead of spiraling down, why don't we step up the positivity? So we start to climb. So we climb up the positivity. So instead of spiraling down with the negative thoughts, how about we climb up positive thought one by one, and then we end up with that climb instead of the spiral, and that's what needs to be done. So, and that's what we're doing. And I realized very deeply as I was reading through some Telegram comments the last couple of weeks that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. There's a lot of people that are going through a lot of things. The one thing we can give each other here, positive outlook. What can we do to get around what's happening? How do we go against high inflation? How do we get around the quantitative easing and the dollar devaluation? I can't even say it for some reason. The devaluing of the dollar. It's like it's not in my vocabulary that we want to hear this. But you know, there are ways around it. I believe cryptocurrency is the best risk asset if you can find the proper tokens at the right time. We did, fortunately, and there's still the right time on some. You know, FILE and Theta were at all-time lows, at least in the time I've been watching them. FILE ever. You know, and then all of a sudden today, again, FILE comes down 5.7, but the reason I think this is happening, and same thing with Alchemy Pay, I'll go to it real quick, and then we're going to get into DGB. I think what ended up happening here is that we started to break, and now we're back testing the initial breakout in the weekly. See how we went all the way up? We came all the way back down and back tested the breach and the breakout of the weekly. Now, as long as we close the weekly on Alchemy at 268 or higher, we're good. Isn't it funny? It came right down to that structure. Same thing with DGB. If we look at it from a weekly standpoint, or with Theta, it's finally trying to put a reversal. Well, it hasn't quite finished it yet, but if it finishes here, it's going to have a chance starting next week. And then with Alchemy, it's the most, I think the most interesting one of them all with this rotation. We came down to 1.7. Then we came all the way back up to 3 cents. Now we're back testing the original move, which it's about, we've dropped about almost 20% from the initial top. But we're back testing, and that's a weekly engulfing. And the next one's going to end up being engulfing to the top side if it finishes here. As long as we stay over this 2.7, I am fine. I don't even care if it comes down to like 2.64. But 2.7 cents, I'm golden. I feel golden there. So that's part of why that has happened. Casper, I'm telling you, that move is finally breaking out of there. If it happens, Remember, no move goes untested, mind you. No move goes untested. They don't. They just don't. So at some level, this is going to have to be tested. Good or bad, indifferent. But I almost think that we're not even broken out technically yet. Because if you look at it like this, we're technically... And like, I don't want to look at it like this because I firmly believe it pulled like this. And that's why we had it like that. But you can see, like, if you look at it, honestly, almost, like if we come up all the way, whoops. If we come up all the way like we should, we can kind of see we did kind of backed. We pulled it, and then we bounced off that exact area. It's pretty cool when you look at it. Now the question is where do we back test this? How do we back test this? And in what capacity do we back test this? I don't know yet because we haven't run out of steam just yet, but we are showing signs of a possible short-term reversal if this doesn't carry through in one of these candles. So I did talk about Zebec in the beginning. Zebec we have layered out, and it's got an opportunity here. It's got a big opportunity here. We've been covering this for some time. And it's trying to make this inverse head and shoulders. And honestly, we might have nailed this. Just we're out just a little bit. It just needed to come a little bit farther. And then if it pulls out, you need it to break 1-4 and then ultimately start pushing. In time, this has the ability to make a massive, massive move. The ability. It has the ability. So, you know, 36 minutes. And I am so grateful for everybody who's watching this right now. Honestly. I am so freaking grateful. Let me look one comment I missed. It was a nice comment too. It was a very nice comment. Average XRP wallet is now 12,000 and 2,700 puts you in the top 10. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Just 27% or 2,700 tokens put you in the top 10%. It's because it's not cheap anymore. That's like $6,000. It's like, yeah, that's right, Keith. And when you're in uncharted territory, anything goes. Nick Morale is beyond ecstatic for 10 plus, but I'm expecting 5 to 8. We shall see. Yes, sir, Nick. I think that's how it first starts. Crazy Pole says the big boom is coming. I believe it. Sean says, I have 167,000 reasons to agree, and he once made the proclamation that he would retire me if he became XRP at $10. He never said that, but I'm putting it out there. Wink, wink, John. FYI, if you don't know, that's my main man from Maine. It's a true story. In fact, because he lived there, I bought some dirt from Maine. Not because he told me to, but I bought some Maine soil and stuff. Oh my God. A couple years ago, and it was the best decision I ever made in certain parts of my garden. My Lord. I've got stuff grown like you wouldn't believe. Well, not right now, but in the years past. Let's see. I want to see where that is at. At work, starting from the beginning. No, Jennifer, I know you know. Not by now. I haven't covered the thing. I wish you the best. I messaged you about the Gaussian channel and you deleted it. Oh well, I won't do. I never deleted it, my friend. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. I wouldn't have deleted that. If it got deleted, that's YouTube. I don't. If you notice by my comments, it's overran by spam. So like on my morning video, I at least deleted them, but there was 164 I had to delete. So, you know, if you're one of the trusted mods, you can always get rid of that crap. You know, some of those spam. But I can promise you I did not delete that. Why would I? That's good information. I didn't even think about that. I'll have to remember that. Where was this at? Tom, if I post the Filecoin chart later in the gram, can you tell me what you see? I think it may be time to buy soon with possible... I absolutely agree. I've had that... Nick, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely share that, because I've been having the tug towards Filecoin for the first time in forever. And the fact that it's in this channel, I know once it breaks out of it to the top side, if it does here, it's going to go crazy. And I swear, if I don't take advantage of Filecoin because I see lower levels, possibly, and it never happened, I think I would be very disappointed. I'm already mad at myself for nailing that drop on Theta down near that 60 cent level and not taking a shot on it. You know, not taking a shot on it. Absolutely. I've looked a little bit into the USA coin. I've been trying to get a better feel on it. I am not no expert yet, but I'm close. So I'm getting close. And then we're going to go into DGB, but oh my, who's that? Hold on, guys. My mom's calling. I just want to let her, I just want to see what she wants. Hold on one sec. You know, you never know what your mom needs. Hi, Mom. He's doing good. He's in jail. They drove to pick up Starwood. She's working right at So, well, they're meeting at home. Probably in about an hour. That's fine. He's stuffy and calm. He's never had a fever, and he's he's doing what he needs to do. He wanted to go for a ride, so we got him ready. So, no, you're not gonna catch me. No, you're fine. Yeah. So I'm just doing my live right now, finishing it, and then if you want to come over, Mom, come over. I'll be here. That's fine. And I'll give you a little bit of money for gas and stuff, Mom. I know you are. I put some money to the side for you. I love you. All right, Mom. I'll see you when you get here. I will. All right. Bye, Mom. Bye. All right. So, where were we at? DGB. Down 1.44%. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to share something real quick. Let's see. It's funny. It actually, believe it or not, here, I'll share it real quick. I got to do it through my email for the sake of just getting it real quick. All right, let's to my email, and then I want to get through this last part as well because we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff today. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's powerful. But look at the message I received today. Remember, they say the Lord works in mysterious ways, all right? Let me go into my email real quick. This is what I see. I'm flipping, and I take a picture in the middle of church. Look what it says. You believe in me, Thomas, because you have seen me, says the Lord. Blessed are they who have not seen me, but still believe. And this whole little thing, when I read through it, it's about the apostle Sir Thomas, and he wanted to feel the wounds, and he wanted to see where the nails went through Jesus's hands and things like that. And it was just a message, because I'm like, man, I've been feeling that guiding touch, and then it just said Thomas, and then it was like, whoa, and then you read it, and then you read the little message. But anyhow, just some things that get you going. You can look for a message or a hidden agenda anywhere you want. It's the way I like to look at it. Always pick up for Mom, Timothy. Absolutely. And I know which one you're mad about, and I didn't even see the whole message, Nick. But I know you're mad about Chainlink. And just like you told me on one that I should have bought, I said the same thing to you. I'm like, Nick, maybe I don't know if it's going to go any lower. I believe you were talking about Theta at one point the same way. I'm like, maybe it'll go down to where I'm seeing it. I don't know. So we should have listened to each other, it turns out. Josh Jolly, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Thanks, Tom, you the man. I appreciate that. I almost forgot that I was doing the live because I brought up money in front of my mom. I never talk about my mom. I'm an open book. I think you guys know I help my mom out a lot. So, by now. But we're in this channel right now. Oh, well, I just put in some in Filecoin, even though market cap is kind of high. Listen, my friend, the market cap on Filecoin's the lowest it's ever been in its history. It seems high, but it's not. I promise you it's not. Filecoin is literally the brainchild of the Internet 2.0 with Theta. Like, Filecoin and Theta are so freaking important for it. It's unbelievable. I would almost say I would not believe that I don't own Filecoin or Theta at this point at the prices. It's inconceivable, but I really wanted to involve myself deeper in DGB. So I'm not going to hate on myself for that decision, but at the same time, I'm going to hate on myself for that decision that I don't have it, not because I own too much DGB. Because I don't think you can. So Jennifer, if we look at this, right, the same way as we looked in the past with XRP, and I think the best thing we can do here, and I'm not going to delete this chart, I promise. The best thing I can do, I don't know if I can add another DGB chart on this page. I might have to go to another one because I have so much shit on here that it's... And I don't want to pay for anything on TradingView because I want you guys to do exactly what you see me do without having the threat of pay. Otherwise I would, but I don't necessarily want to keep paying them as they advance their shit, because now a lot of stuff they had for free, now they want you to pay for it. I don't approve of that. I don't appreciate that message. They're trying to help us learn, not take away. So, if we look at DGB, wow, I can't believe this chart is the one that I was using a long time ago. It's still valid. Like, that resistance still never... That is so crazy that never broke out. Still. If I would have said I'm still sitting here in 2025, and that is still below that downtrending resistance, I would have said, man, who's tricking? Like, who's trying to F with me? That's a 3-year movement. Look how close... My God, is this going to happen at some point? So, watch this. And... when you want to look at areas for DGB, it had the epitome of a head and shoulders, right? And I'll show you the supply, which led to the demand up. And then where the supply ended up being again. And I'll kind of use it the same way that I did on the XRP one. Let's see if I can do it slightly different. I want to mess with some of these real quick. Let's see. That's the arrow. Price range, anchored volume. You know what? Let's just go with the price range. Good enough for me. So, no, that's not going to work. I need it to be a little bit deeper so you guys can see this. Like, I need you to at least be able to comprehend. Some of you would be able to, but some of you are going to look at it and be like, what the hell is that? Good as that? It's a line up and down. What's that going to tell me? See, this is where it's the hardest thing, because I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. But it's not really that hard, I must say. Once it hits me in the face, I'll be like, oh, that's what I need to do. Probably the parallel channel if I had to. No, maybe not parallel. I could probably work with this. No, I can't work with that. Nah, maybe I can. No, because now I can't get the information. See, we need the information. That's what it is. That's fine. And you know, when you're watching me in real time, this is the beauty of it, because now you can watch and you can be like, oh, I could do this myself. Absolutely. That's what I want you to get out of this. You can absolutely do this yourself. Oh, there's Julie. So there's our range right there, right? So the first time up, this was supply. We fell back into it again one time and we failed. And then we went into a huge area. Like, I mean, when I say huge, like we went here. Then we failed.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Scar?
Good.
And then we went into our ultimate zone here. And it's taken us over what the heck? Over 5 years in this zone. Like, look at this. We are still in this expanded zone. We could probably go from here. I would say something like that. So, we are stuck. We are firmly stuck in here. And that's been going on for a hella long time. But it is creating a pretty favorable pattern. So, I see my son is not happy about getting back home. But you've had a setup like this. Setup like that. But for DGB, if it does break out, if and when, you're going to end up having this whole channel of supply. And it's going to end up breaking up. And we're going to start coming back up near that 7. So I'm telling you right now, the moment this finally gets out of that supply zone, or at least this consolidatory zone, this is going to have a big move. A big move. But just, I tried to emphasize it, because if it comes down here, You know, you could find yourself on a breakdown, but it's going to be difficult at this point to really break down like a severe breakdown. I wanted to go a little deeper, but Julie's home. I want to make sure that I help her out. I'm sure you guys can understand. You hear my son crying, so I'm going to go help her. Have a blessed day, everybody. We'll go deeper into this more. Ooh, that's a good point. The CME live, if you pay, that's a good point. But I'm gonna end this. Have a blessed day, everybody. I'm gonna go help Julie because, you know, daddy duty's call. So have a blessed day, and we'll be back. We'll be back, I promise. I'm glad we spent 50 minutes together. I thought